Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Aimeliik in Palau. Now, just a note that a couple things about Palauan, the language that is spoken here. One, it is very hard to find sound clips of people saying place names in Palauan other than like the major cities. So I have not heard anyone who speaks Palauan say the name of this little area here, so I assume it is Aimeliik. I assume. And what was the other thing I was going to say? And two is that Palauan is just a strange language. It's one of those where like the way that it's spelled is not how it's pronounced. There's a lot of silent letters, like on the level of like French. Like there's just a lot going on in Palauan. And it's hard to find translated resources. It's either just straight Palauan or it's just straight English. So doing my best here with what I've got. So under the assumption that this area is known as Aimeliik, it is a little department, I'm not sure, a little area of Palau here on the largest island. It's called Top, and it's down here on the south. There's a lot of things that happen in this area of Palau. It's kind of the more metropolitan area. I say that because it's compared to like an actual major metropolitan area. This is nothing, but it's definitely the busiest part of Palau for sure. Koror's right here, that's its largest city. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's kind of where the more city atmosphere meets the more mountainous country atmosphere. So a lot of interesting industries occur here, mainly to do with farming and agriculture and gardening and agroforestry, which is such a cool word because it's basically turning a forest into your farm. So a lot of things grown there, like coconuts, breadfruit, even bananas, lots of those, like, Pacific Island fruits. Palau being in the Pacific. When I pull out my tablet, I'll show you exactly where Palau is located, and we'll talk about its spot on the world then. The capital is called Mongami. It's not this town, it's about right here. It is not on my map, which is fun. A couple of little facts that I found about this area. One is that it has a really extensive mangrove forest here along the coast. Doesn't really show up on Google Earth, but just know that it's there. It's also home to Palau's largest power plant. Apparently that's quite a point of pride in the area. I bet it employs a lot of local people, right? Third is that there is a Palauan legend about a hero named Malsal. And again, assuming that's how it's pronounced. Can't find any resources that actually say his name out loud. I'm just reading all of these facts. So, Malsal was kind of the equivalent of Hercules in terms of legendary hero figures. He wasn't a strong man like Hercules, but how you associate Hercules with Greece, think Masal with Palau, okay? He apparently died here in a little town right about here. It's on the coast. It's called, and again, assuming this is how it's pronounced, Elichui. It's probably totally wrong, but it's a town that doesn't even have a Wikipedia article, so and it looks like it's like population 10, so I'm doing my best here. Apparently, he was stoned to death in this town by the local women. I guess he was probably being a little toxic, I assume. And his tomb is made up of the stones used to stone him. Very efficient. I'll show you on Google Earth where I think it is, because again, this town is less than a speck on the map, even on Google Earth, so I think I found the spot. I could be wrong, but I'll show you when I pull out my tablet. Let me tell you more about the history of Palau and of this little corner here, because traditional lifestyles have existed here for a long time, since the first settlers arrived. A lot of fishing. They farmed a lot of taro root, which is a really interesting tropical fruit. They built terraced farming, another point of pride in this area, and one that I also could not find on Google Earth. So I'm telling you all this, you just have to take my word for it. I cannot show you. But apparently it's where most of the terraced farming in ancient Palau was constructed, which is great. That's a very, very complicated way to grow your crops, so that's amazing, right? They also created lots of interesting stone structures, including shrines and cemeteries. And the buildings that Palau is most known for and the most proud of, and there's one kind of right smack dab in the middle of this area, is known as abai. And again, assuming that's how it's pronounced. If anyone actually knows the correct pronunciation and speaks Palauan watching this, drop it down in the comments, please, because I would love to know, especially because we've got other little corners to visit. Another one that we're going to go to very soon, so please, I would greatly appreciate some correct pronunciations. A bai is a type of longhouse that was used as a meeting house for the local men in the area. And that I can show you on Google Earth. It is so beautiful in its construction, and it's just covered in incredible artwork. So we'll look at that in a minute. And the history of this area just kind of follows the history of Palau. The area was controlled by Spain until 1899, when they sold it off to Germany. And it's not like Spain came in and built huge, like, Spanish architecture homes. At least not in this area. This area is pretty untouched. So it's like the Spanish were in charge, but they didn't really do anything with this little corner. In 1899, Spain was in a bad way financially. They needed money fast. Germany was looking to colonize places, and the only place left in the world that had not been colonized was the Pacific. So Spain sold it off to Germany until World War I, when, like, all of Germany's territories around the world got gobbled up by whatever allied power nearby was there. In this case, it would have been Japan, and it was ceded over to Japan in 1919. But again, there's no Japanese, at least architectural, influence in this area. They just kind of left it be, including the next power that would take over, which was the United States. It was ceded over to them after World War II until Palau achieved its independence. So time has just kind of stood still over here. Little signs of modernism here and there. Like I said, Palau's largest power plant is here. But time has just kind of just done its thing very slowly in this little area, which is really neat. There's not a lot of places in the world like that, is there? Alright, let me grab my Google Earth on my tablet so I could show you a little bit more detail, because this map really does not show you much. Here we go, and I am in a weird angle, so anyway, so here we are. You can see Aimeliik right there, let me find a town or something to highlight. There's Mongami right there. So that I can zoom out and show you exactly where we are in the world. So here's the big, beautiful island of Palau. We zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. So Palau is like in the easternmost section of an area of the Pacific known as Micronesia, not to be confused with the Federated States of Micronesia. Very similar to how America is in the Americas, Micronesia is within Micronesia. But Palau is very famously not a part of that. The Marshall Islands, not the Marshall Islands, Micronesia was figuring out their independence. They asked Palau if they wanted to join. They said, no, thank you, we are our own thing. So, Palau is in this little section here. You can see the Philippines. There's New Guinea right here. It's easy to find because I find the big Mariana Trench here and it's kind of pointing right at it. So that's how I know how to find Palau. At least on Google Earth. I can just follow the trenches here. You can see all of the beautiful coral around there. Isn't that lovely? Alright, let's head in to Aimeliik. You can see this kind of swampy, mangrovey coastline here. Not really a place where there's like fabulous beaches with soft sand and waves and surfing, right? Not quite that area. There are places in Palau like that, not so much here. So up here is this little town. It's not even marked. You can find the power plant. Okay, maybe it's up here then. Okay. Oh yeah, it's on this one. Okay. Up here is the village that I told you about where the hero died. You can totally you see what I mean? So there is, I have to turn this on to find it. At least that's where I thought it was. Maybe it is down here. Okay, so it is down here. Because this is where I think it is. Because someone came and took a lot of photos around. Please stop being blue. It's very bright. It's okay, let me turn this off. Around this. The pictures that the person took were taken at like dawn, like the earliest hours, so you can't really see anything. But like, look at that. That's definitely something there. And why would someone take like a bunch of photos all around it, like coming to and from? So I assume this must be the like mound where this hero was buried. I assume because, yeah, it is. The little village is like over here. And maybe it's this one up there, I don't remember. They're not marked because it's all too small. And even the things that are marked, like, you know, this big city of Mongami doesn't have any pictures associated with it. And when you look in, it's like, cool. That's all we can see. But let me show you the Bai, just right here. These places are so cool. Look at these cool, it's almost like a mural, I suppose, like just painted walls all around, the very distinct roof shape. Isn't that cool? Come to the Bai. Very beautiful. There's the other side. I love all the fish. And then I love how it's constructed down here, the stonework to support it. And then we can go inside and see everything that can be painted on is painted on. And you can definitely tell that there are some stories happening here, right? Like, what the heck is that? That's some kind of story that happened there. And then this is where everyone would gather, light a fire right there. Such a cool building. So yeah, that is the Bai. At least every area of Palau has one. In a couple days, we'll head over to another part of Palau where the oldest one is located. Pretty neat. But I think that's about it for Aimeliik. And I guarantee you, I've clicked on every little place here that has notes, and there's like no good pictures. So I really try to show you guys some cool stuff, like where's the terraced farming. Every site I read by Palauans talking about this place was like, we're so proud of the terraced farming history, and I'm like, I don't see any. So again, if anyone has more first-hand knowledge than me, I really scoured trying to find stuff. There's not a lot about this little corner of Palau, so do let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know. You know, there's always a chance you're gonna get comment of the day. I kind of picked them at random, so there's always a chance. If you want to see yourself in the next video, go ahead and throw a comment down there and let me know what you think of this series, because it's very ongoing. Next we are heading off to Algeria and gonna learn about some really neat places over there. Absolutely completely different landscape, as you can imagine. But yes, I hope that you found this video relaxing and educational, and I really hope that you have a good